What's up, you guys? My name is Ashley. For those who are new here, hello and welcome back. For those who have been here already, hey girl. Right? Like, this is probably a little weird, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, obviously from the title of this video, y'all already see the vibes. Y'all know what's going on. Your girl has combed her 4-year-old locks out. So obviously I will be including clips and photos and as many things as I can make this whole thing make sense into this video. But to face you guys and talk about my why and how, and also wanted to just include in some things for those who are either thinking about getting locks or thinking about combing out their current locks, and just, you know, share a little bit of wisdom that I have picked up over the last 4 years that I have had locks. So first things first, let's talk about the why, because I think that's the question that I've received the most since I have like shown my Instagram and like, you know, my clients that have come in. First of all, for those who are new here or may not have been on my channel before, first of all, welcome. But then also know that I am a licensed cosmetologist. I actually do hair for a living in a salon. However, I am not a loctician. I'm not a lock specialist. I don't have any other experience with locks other than my own locks and then my daughter's locks when she had them a couple years ago. So I first want to say that. So most of my view is, or not my view, but my expertise is just like the health of hair in general. But anyways, let's get past that. The why. So again, it has been 4 years since I started my locks. If you want to know my why as to why I got my locks, I'll make sure that I'll leave like the full playlist of like my lock journey in this video. But where I'm at today, as most of you guys have probably experienced the same thing, but just speaking for myself, the year 2020, honey, was a lot. And then the years following. And still, up to this point, it has been a lot of different shifts, a lot of trauma, both medical and like just mental trauma that I have gone through in these past few years. And I have mentioned before, hair holds on to memory and energy and all of those things. And I did not take my own advice. In one of my lock journey videos, I mentioned like saging my hair or like clearing my energy and all. I did not follow my own advice. So there's that. But even beyond just like the cleansing process, there is memory that is being held in our hair. And so like over time, my locks felt like a ton of bricks on my shoulders. No lie. Like today, as I sit here with you guys, like I feel a huge weight that has been lifted off of my crown. And that was really like the main thing. Beyond physically being heavy, it was mentally heavy, just remembering all the things that I had experienced with that hair on my head. And while I loved my locks, don't get me wrong, I loved my locks, I love the look of it, you know, it gave me the like boho chic look that I like, earth mama things, all of that thing. But all that hair was not serving me anymore. And then if we're just like talking for the sake of vanity, I wanted to switch my hair up. Like I wanted to be able to put my hair up in a ponytail easily. I wanted to be able to have my curls. Like I was really missing my curls these past, like, I want to say 4 months or so. Like I was reminiscing on like old photos and stuff like that. But then like the thing that really like kind of put the battery in my back, Mercury retrograde, child. I don't know what it was. I don't know what the specifics were of this past Mercury retrograde, but like right at the tail end of it, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start the process. I'm gonna see how it goes, and we'll just go from there. And I literally picked out like maybe 2 or 3 locks, and I'll make sure I've like put the photo up. Of like the progress that I made then. That's when I started it. And I will say, like, from there, I was like, do I really want to do this? And so I kind of backpedaled and I retwisted my hair and everything. And then maybe it was like a week later or something. I'm sorry, I'm so hot. So like, keep on. But maybe it was like a week or so later that I was just like, I started on this journey for a reason. I need to see it through. And for a second there, I thought I was just going to be lazy and be like, you know what, I'm just cutting it all off. But it didn't take me like an hour's time to get my locks. It took time to develop the locks that I had. And so there is something about like taking a journey that I enjoy. And so that's why I chose to physically comb them out rather than just chopping it all off, because I am not scared to cut my hair. I'm not scared to cut my hair, but just journeying through that process was like releasing and therapeutic all in itself. So I don't know if that answered everybody's questions, but that is my why. I just needed to release the dead weight. And speaking of dead weight, I'm gonna show y'all how much hair came out of this head of mine. There may be just a little bit missing here, but I kept it just for, you know, visual sake. I know that people would have asked, and I know me personally, I would have wanted to see, so I kept the hair. This is not hygienic. Whatever, this is for y'all. Y'all are welcome. This is like 2 heads of hair. And I mean, I should weigh this, and I'm gonna put it on the screen as to like how much this hair actually weighs. Because I mean, it's not light. Like, it's not like this is like shoved in there. Like, it's pretty dense in here. This is a lot of hair. So this is what came off of my head. That's crazy, right? Let's talk about the how, the process. So like I said, I started the 1 or 2 locks, like, you know, just impromptu, like, just let me see how this goes type thing. And at first I was not using conditioner. I was just using a rat tail comb. This is actually the one that I use. You can see how beat up it is, but I was just like starting it at the bottom. And the bottom honestly was like the hardest part, because if you like refer back to my initial videos, my ends were just a little bit like looser, not straight, but like looser than the rest of my hair. And so what happened over time was like my lock, like it was loose at first, and then like slowly but surely it started like tucking itself within the lock. And so it was almost like looped up into the lock. So I would like physically have to like almost ripping that out, to be honest. And that was fine, because I knew that I was going to have to give myself like a hefty trim anyways. But like getting that part out was like probably the hardest part. Beyond that, it's just the length of my hair, and I'll try to find it. I really stopped taking like progress photos, length check photos, stuff like that of my locks like a long time ago. And I wish that I hadn't, honestly. I wish that I had like a really good photo of like the length of my hair, like viewed from the back, of just how long it was. I would say it was like bra strap length, which is probably where I'm at after like, you know, the takedown and everything. But anyway. So, you know, picking at it at first, and then eventually like combing through using just like a fine tooth comb. And that was just for the first two, but then after that, I'm like, all right, once I committed that I was doing it, I'm like, how can I speed up this process? So I was taking like a warm mug of water, dunking one lock at a time because I didn't want to just sit there dripping. So I was just dunking one lock at a time. I bought some cheap conditioner because cheap conditioners most of the time have like a lot of silicones in them, so that just provided the slip that I needed to be able to make sure that my hair just wasn't like ripping and snapping off. And this is the conditioner I used. If you want to know, this is the Aussie Miracle Moist. It was like a $4 bottle, and you can see it's empty. I used this whole thing, taking this down, and actually like down to the last few locks. I ended up having to switch to a conditioner that we have in the house, which I won't even list that one because honestly, that one was a little bit more difficult because it was like a clean conditioner, so there wasn't a lot of silicone, so it didn't make the process easier. However, this one did actually make things a little bit easier. So if you are looking for just a cheap conditioner to take your locks down, I suggest this one. But yeah, I was dunking the lock, and then I would use like a fingertip amount and like running it down on the areas, and as like I moved up, sometimes I would have to redunk my hair to get it like really moist, and applying more of the conditioner. And I did that all throughout the process, and I want to say in total it probably took me about 2 weeks or so. I was taking anywhere between like 3 to 7 locks out per day. And then like this past weekend, which I finished on Saturday, I'll put the date somewhere on the screen. I completed at like 2 o'clock in the morning because I was determined that I was done with that hair, and that was that. So I finished at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that last day I probably took out like, I want to say 14 locks, which is strenuous. And I will say my hand, I already have arthritis because again, I'm a hairstylist. So I already have like, wrist and hand issues. My hand was going numb. My elbow is still sore, honestly. Like as I extended it just now, it's still tight, and yeah, it's still achy. But I was determined. I was ready to get these things out of my head and just like be done with it. So I am in the final stretch of combing my 4-year-old locks out. Listen, I want to say this is day number 7 or 8, probably more like 8, 9, 10. I don't know that I've been working towards it, but I see the end nearing. These are the final 10 locks. Right, next morning, this is what I'm looking like before the wash. So I am about to wash this up because, ooh child, it's funky. And I'm just ready to get all of this shed hair out and assess the damage. So once I got through with everything, from here, I know that I have clips because that's when I was just a little bit more motivated to show you guys. I think I didn't really I didn't film any of the process of me physically taking them out, or even earlier on in the process. I have like a few photos, which again, I've probably already shared them at this point. But that was the how, and what I did following up to, just take care of my hair was, obviously, I shampooed it. I did a really thorough clean. I had just a little bit left of my like Talia Wajid clarifying shampoo, which is what I used the entire time that I had locks. Love that stuff. I highly recommend it. I found that I had such little buildup, and honestly, even when I look at the hair, like the only areas that I had and I won't even say buildup, it was more like lint. Um, this is a piece here that has like that lint buildup. I only really noticed this type of thing going on in the locks that were like the lowest point of my neck, and then like right on the tip of my locks, just from like it rubbing on sweaters or scarves or whatever. But beyond that, like the inner parts of my locks like were not like linty. They didn't have like a lot of buildup, and that really made me proud, because like that was something that I was very intentional about. I did not put a lot of product on my locks. Like when it was retwist day, I used my locking gel, which I'll leave all of the stuff that I use down in the comment section or the description below, which I'm sure is on my past lock videos already. But all of those products, I remain consistent. And this is something that I preach even as a hairstylist to my loose hair clients, is consistency matters when it comes to like the health of your hair, and just not overdoing it. Like not putting a ton of gels and like, you know, all of that. Like I didn't do a whole lot of that. Now I will say, I probably use more like edge taming gels and like eco, and even some like gots to be glued gels like around my hairline after my pregnancy. So again, going back to the memory thing, I had a lot of postpartum shedding, and I lost a lot of my edges, which is why like the front of my hair isn't like nearly as thick as it would normally be, because these areas here, you can see like just like these little itty bitty hairs are still like trying to make a comeback. But I mean, it just was what it was. Like these locks around here, they were heavy, but they didn't have like just a whole lot of hair to hold on to, like probably 2 inches out from my scalp. But anyways, we're talking about what I did afterwards. So the clarifying shampoo is what I use immediately after, really like working that all the way down my strand to get all of this like cheap ass conditioner off, because it had sat on my hair for like literally 2 weeks. So like I really did a really good thorough clarifying. Obviously I shampooed with something that was a little bit more moisturizing to follow. I used the Miel Organics Rosemary Mint shampoo. I just used what I had around the house because I could have gone to the salon, but I didn't feel like it. So I used that to follow, and then I also used the deep conditioner, the Miel Organics Rosemary whatever conditioner. Again, leaving all of these things down in the comment or the description below. And with the deep conditioner, I had to do a lot of detangling, whole lot. So, and I did put that hair with the hair that I've been collecting over time. So there was like, you know, a nice little hand size full of hair that came out after, like, you know, I washed, and while I was deep conditioning, like I really did a thorough detangling process, very gentle, because again, your hair is like very fragile when it is wet. So like I worked from like the bottom up. All right, this is what we looking like fresh after the wash, honey. I'm actually really surprised at how much it shrunk up, which means that I will probably, let me get my, come close. My bathroom is under construction. However, anyways, we here for this. It's a lot of shrinkage, which is kind of to be expected because my hair is like, girl, what is we doing? But that also lets me know that I am going to have to do a hefty trim, which I'm totally fine with. I knew that I would have to get rid of some length. I'll try to make sure I post pictures of my longest length before I started the comb out process, because it was very impromptu, as you will know from like the explanation of this video. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm about to blow it out and I'll be back. after that, obviously, I showed you guys, or I'll show you guys. But the shrinkage was real, honey. I was shocked. But after that, you see, ooh, it was silky, baby, which is, ooh, yeah, that's what I needed in my life. But yeah, so I showed you guys like the after of like what it looked like right after the flat iron with the little raggedy ends and all. But let me see if I can boost myself up a little bit. I'm sitting on the floor. But this is what I'm looking like, and I'm not freshly straightened, obviously, because I just didn't want to put more heat on my hair. But this is where I'm at after the trim. Let's see. Oh, yeah, so like bra strap length, which my bra strap is right there. So yeah, I'm like right about there, which is pretty good. I'll say that we cut about 3 to 4 inches off the longest length, which would be like the back of my hair. Now the front, we were a little bit more conservative because again, this hair is a little bit finer, thinner because of the postpartum shedding. So we just kind of like, you know, carved it out a little bit. I didn't want to do like too much fringe or whatever because I know I'm gonna be pulling my hair back a lot because I'm back up in the gym. But yeah, this is it. Talked about the how, the why, showed you the hair. Now the little sage advice I have, this video is getting long, so I'm gonna try to keep it brief. But wherever you are in your journey, whether you are in the process or whether you're thinking about getting locks or you have starter locks and maybe you're like on the edge of, I don't like this, whatever, do what you wanna do. Whether it's getting locks or getting rid of your locks or keeping your locks or whatever, do what you wanna do first. And the moment that it doesn't feel good to you anymore, don't be afraid to let it go, period. And that's pretty much where I've been, is I've been ready to let go of these, but I've been holding on to it because I love the look and let it go, because when it's time, it's time. As far as care is concerned, less is more. Like I said, as I combed out my locks, like, I was proud that I didn't have a lot of buildup. Maybe that means nothing to, you know, some people, but for me, that was a major thing. Like, and I only got a detox once ever. Beyond that, all I did was use the clarifying shampoo, a moisturizing shampoo to follow up. I deep conditioned my locks, you know, probably every other time that I washed my hair, which wasn't very frequent either. But yeah, like less is more. So like, you know, really try not to overthink it or overdo it, because I've seen a lot of people experience tension alopecia or like severe scalp issues from like just having a lot of products and not like always like not washing your hair at the frequency or being able to like brush your scalp as frequent as you would need to really take care of those scalp issues. So yeah, less is more. You know, don't overthink it. Do what you want and have fun with it. Like I said, the moment that it doesn't feel like something that you should be, get rid of it. Let it go, child. So I think that concludes this video. Again, I know this is kind of lengthy, so I thank you all for staying tuned if you have made it this far. There's no more lock journey, so I don't know. If you guys want a, you know, a hair update now that I'm unlocked, I guess I will give it to you. I've always kind of shied away from like hair videos even before I got my locks, because I am a hairstylist. I talk hair all the time, and I have 3 daughters. I talk hair all the time. So like, it wasn't something that I was interested in before. But if you guys want to know more or see what I'm currently using or whatever, leave your request down in the leave your request down in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys subscribe if you love planner related content, if you love gardening stuff and some little lifestyle stuff here and there. Definitely subscribe. Stay tuned to my channel. I thank you all so much for stopping by. I wish you health, wealth, and prosperity, and until the next time, peace.